The format of this meeting is a 10-minute speaker, a 10-minute coffee break, and then a main speaker. Tonight, our first speaker is Michelle. Let's welcome Michelle to the stage.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date is January 10th, 2018. So today I celebrate 9 months. Congratulations on 30 days. That's rocking. This is my second speaking event, and my first one was on my 6 months, and I was pretty serious, and I talked about the real shit in this deal. And Kurt gave me some advice and said, Michelle, you're kind of a funny person. Why don't you just, relax and tell some of the shit you used to do? So that's what I'm going to try to do today. I'm just going to try to show you where I came from on a lighter note, because I used to be a hardcore drug dealer, and I was pretty successful at it. And some of your faces out there, I could read right away and know what I needed to say to get you to use my drugs. So with that being said, and you trust me on that issue, I'd like you to trust me on this Alcoholics Anonymous issue, because the high you get with this program, it's just a lot better, and it lasts a lot longer. Some of the stuff I did before I came into the rooms. Okay, so I used to sneak bottles of beer into the theater, and it wasn't just to drink them, it was because I wanted to break them. I wanted to smash them and let people know I had those bottles of beer in there with me, and I got them through the doors. So that was kind of cool. I would snort crystal meth on the job, and if I thought I was going to get caught, I would place a baggie of it in the ladies' bathroom, and I'd act like I found it there. Yeah. I would scam ATMs. I'd get a couple friends, and we'd write checks to each other and deposit them in each other's accounts, get the money out, and then go buy drugs. Now, you can't really do that anymore these days because I think they figured it out. So I asked my kids, I have 2 boys, 25 and 27, what were some of the things they remember Mom doing when she was drinking and drugging? And my youngest says, gosh, Mom, I only remember you being drunk really twice in my life. And one of those times, you got pulled over. So in 2003, I was pulled over for DUI, and I'd only had half a beer that night, so I was righteously sober. But the kids and I played this game. It was Christmas time, where they would sing Christmas songs, and when they would stop singing, I would stop the car. And I did that in the middle of an intersection. So the cop pulled me over with 6 kids in the car, so I got 6 counts of child endangerment, harassing the officer because I told him, I only had half a beer, what the fuck, And it's like 12:30 at night, so it's freezing, and he let the kids all out, and they had to go to the bathroom, so all these boys, 10, 11, and 12 are peeing on the side of the road. And then I gave him shit because I'm like, isn't that against the law? You're breaking the law. Aren't you the cop? And you're supposed to be doing the right thing. So he's handcuffing me and taking me away. Now, here's the funny thing to the story. He says, I can have your kids picked up by, Child Protective Services, or you can have somebody come and get them for you. Well, the only person I had to come get them was my dad, and my dad was drunk out of his gourd. But guess what? The cop let my dad take the kids. So, I get in front of the judge, and I want to tell him this story. I want to be so self-righteous. And he says, you're getting it all. You're not seeing your problem here, and I didn't. In 2003, I just went along with the system, and I was believing. I wasn't drunk, so I was really okay. Well, it wasn't until this year that I got the full gist of my situation. My younger son said that one of the funniest things I ever did when I was drunk was get pulled over because I took on the cop. And then my older son said, no, Mom, I think the time that was funniest was when I think you were on speed, and you pulled over to the side of the road, and I had my kids with me, and there was this big Highway 18 sign that I wanted for our garage. And I convinced them to let's steal this sign. So that was his funny story of stealing the Highway 18 sign. Of course, it didn't fit in my car, And the cops came by and said, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? And I just pretended like I had a flat tire. And I had just fixed it all myself. And my boys were just standing there and all like, you had him convinced you had a flat tire. So I thought I was the drug addict of the century because I could convince the cop that I wasn't trying to steal the street sign that's laying on the ground, you know? In any case, those are just some of the little things. This last Thanksgiving, I dropped our whole turkey. We had deep fried a turkey, and I was bringing it to the table, and I dropped the whole thing. And yet I insisted I was not drunk and that the turkey tried to fly away on its own. There's a quote in the Big Book. You know, the Big Book is my Bible. I raised the kids in a Christian church, and when they were like 12, they said, no, Mom, we're getting bored. We don't want to do this anymore. And I didn't force them to do it anymore. I'm like, okay, cool. We don't have to go do this anymore. But when I joined Alcoholics Anonymous, all that stuff that was planted back there, those 10 years of taking my kids to church, kind of makes sense now. And there's this verse in the back of the blue book, the big blue book that's my like Bible now, and it's a quote about contempt before investigation. And I would like to think that you're all kind of familiar with that. And what that means to me is what we think of Alcoholics Anonymous before we really know what we're doing in here. And it might take you a couple steps to figure it out, but this isn't a cult or some religious gathering. This is really your life right here, and it can be happy, joyous, and free. I suggest you get a sponsor. Sponsors are really important, and I've been through 3 in my 9 months, but every single one have been exactly what I needed to get on to the next part of my growth and my journey. The how-to in this program is being honest, open-minded, and willing. And there's a chapter of that in the book, so you can look that up and figure it out on your own, because it's really your journey, and you can only go off what I've done. It doesn't affect you in the sense that what you need to do for your life. So if you were coming to me for drugs, I would convince you that I have the best medicine. If you're coming to me to live life, I've learned that Alcoholics Anonymous has been what it takes for me. And I'm willing to answer any questions you have, because I'm kind of a cheerleader for Alcoholics Anonymous. It's allowing me to live a life closer to my God and serve Him now instead of serving myself. So thanks for letting me share, and enjoy your main speaker.
Thank you, Michelle. Alcoholics. Oh, wait. Let's take a 10-minute break, please. Remember to smoke far away from the door and put your cigarette butts out in the can if you have a chance. Thanks.